we're going to be running what I like to call the best round or Cruci level, which is of course Cruci 2, because that way you still have access to 2 crits on the board, and it means you got to do crit stuff just a whole lot easier. It's basically like having a special button. Special button's pretty solid. Um, yeah, and in particular, the main thing I wanted to do this one was crit stuff. So yeah, that's why I'm trying to do this. I do think that I probably should have taken a tempo passive there. However, Orbit Story as the starting passive just guarantees that you're going to get the most possible value from it. So I kind of wanted to take that instead, and I definitely won't need a refilibuster at any point in this run, right? Yeah. Cool. So let's make sure that we're going to be going left next. Try and claim our single question mark. Get closer to the Orbit Story prop. And that's a lot of question marks between now and the boss. I'm pretty sure that was 4. At least 4, sorry. So I should be able to get my passive, which is quite nice. I do think that this is the perfect opportunity for a removal orbs. Look, I'm playing Roundel. It's not the best idea on Roundel. But let's roll with it. We'll see what we can do. The Orboros buff does mean that it can actually deal damage now, especially when you're critting, which we did improve our capabilities of critting. But it's still just very spooky. Hopefully we just get some fights where, not having any real orbs in our deck just doesn't matter. And, so far we're succeeding with that. Since as long as you're hitting your bombs, this map is on the simple side. So I don't actually have that much time to collect up that much cash for the store though. Good news is I shouldn't really need to buy that many things from the store because I don't really have anything I want in particular. I don't really have a game plan yet. It's kind of just find something good. And there are a lot of good things, but it means that I'm not exactly looking for like if I had Round Guard already, picking up a refresher was just so much better, that kind of thing. Light Sharp Potion, your refresh also crit. More crits is pretty insane, especially considering the fact that, the crit damage on this orb is now actually really good. 2-5 compared to a 2-4? It's a pretty big difference when it's the only orb in your deck. I was talking about actually it's 2-6, 2-5 compared to 2-6. Yeah, I was talking about Spin Meter stats though. I forgot that, most of the time when you're getting Orboros, it's actually not on Spin Meter. Which is not ideal. This is certainly a fight where I would absolutely adore a refilibuster. Unfortunately, I decided to take the Orbit story, and we'll see how that goes for me. I imagine I'm going to be visiting 50 health, maybe even 60 health, if I'm lucky. Just because, we haven't really done a very good job of hitting our bombs at this point, and kind of expect them to just pummel me a bit. Oh, wow, that was an insane shot. Really, really lovely. And the strongest part about that shot was probably the bramble, actually. But before I brambled, the strongest part about the shot was the fact that Orboros is Echo. So I gotta keep using that damage again. Oh, that was a random elite. Wow. We just took up a random elite. I kind of thought we would have too many elites in our path already. Your crits also refresh Criticus. Well, man, why'd you make the decision so hard? So I currently have. This just makes if I have both of the potions, any kind of extra refreshes or crits I can add to the board just scales so well. Should I have upgraded Orboros there? Probably. It sounds really good, doesn't it? You know what doesn't sound really good though? Hitting that refresh there. Oh, this is rough. Quite rough. That first shot was very good though. Aside from the fact that, I hit no refreshes. But the debuff, the damage, the stuff was just very, very on point. Oh my god, my crits also refresh. I was just like, oh, why did I refresh? But that's what I get for aiming directly at a crit. The good news is, oh, crit, refresh? Okay. Give me a crit, perfect. This is a pretty good one. Should be able to claim a lot of damage there. Should be able to claim another one. Wow. But that was neat. I don't know why we're just smashing through these bosses as easily as we are. Jukepot. Oh. Oh man. This store could get spicy. It could get so cool. I am so close, yet so far. Actually, just so close yet so far. Oh, 8 gold. It's too risky. It's so risky. Like, yeah, I can probably get 8 gold if I do a shot like this. But where am I going? Unfortunately, I just don't know this stuff. Because I haven't, like, tried to memorize it yet. So, yeah, no, I just kind of have to take it. Which is perfectly fine because I don't want to buy this or this. Yeah, okay, wow, this store was very underwhelming compared to the kind of thing I was expecting. Realistically, I should probably buy another. Let's just buy passives that are actually useful. Stuff Whistling is not a consideration right now because I don't have any pebbles in my deck. That being said, saving our cash for a lovely little um, upgrade on our Orboros before the boss fight sounds mildly important. Plus 1 persist is not bad, as opposed to this fight, which is kind of bad, but look at this shot, I did not do what I wanted to do. Instead I hit the crit, which is not actually what I was looking to do because my crit was planning on duplicating. And I prevented its duplication by popping it. Which is totally fine, because it's kind of the same thing. But like, I was going to hit the refresh that shot, so I knew I could just not hit the crit and get away with it. Cool, cool. I am really loving this kind of stuff we've got going on. I really did want a special button though, but at least we have access to... Oh, Jesus, man. But at least we have access to Cruci 2, Cruci 3, sorry, because we're only playing Cruci 2. So we actually do get 1 extra crit on the board. I'm not going to discard it, but it's not going to be that impressive, especially if it misses that crit right there. That crit is actually a lot of damage, you know? Which is exactly what I'm going to be aiming straight for that refresh. Blind, amazing. Such a useful debuff. Now, I'm semi-joking, because of course you can actually use blind in this fight. It's just very hard to. Because the second you reach you, the blind becomes useless. That was very decent damage. I mostly picked up the shuffle because I wanted to. I didn't need to pick it up. But I figured that, like, no, shuffle is actually a really good way to play crit comp. There isn't really an orb I would want to pick up more for a crit comp. Like, sure, if you can assemble all the small orb stuff, that stuff's really fun to do for a crit comp. But also just like Reorganizer when you have 3 crits on the board and Shuffle Pot, like, that can get you access to so much crit stuff. So good. Tender Cactus, Meteorite, Sealed Conviction. I do think that Sealed Conviction is going to pop my egg. But apart from popping my egg, it's actually pretty decent, especially with this persist nonsense going around. How boring do I want to get? Yeah, okay. Look, we're testing out the new Tender Cactus. Is it? Yeah, no, I'm actually right. Yeah, we're testing it out, you know. We don't know how it's going to be, so it's our job to test it out so that we know how good it is. Yeah. I imagine it's going to be very, very decent. My targeting is slightly off here, but it's fine. Yeah, I figured this was pretty fine because we have a lot of crit damage, and considering the fact that most of the time we should just be able to aim and hit a crit because we have effectively 3... I feel like 3 crits per board is pretty fair to say. Yeah, I feel like that should be enough. If we get Special Brew, that would be pretty nuts. I think I'll pass on 6 guaranteed, probably 1 more. So I should be able to upgrade my Orboros to level 3 in time for these elites. I'm kind of worried about them. So, did I just mention this? I just thought about it. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. I was just thinking about how good Strange Brew would be. Strange Brew, Tender Cactus with all this duplication nonsense is actually just insane. It's a really good pickup here. I would happily pick up more Shuffle Orbs. I can't pick up something. This is so good. Also, that's just one of the really, really nice things about Tender Cactus. You just walk into these mirror fights and there is just no fear whatsoever. Literally just no fear. Oh. Yeah, I don't know about... I'm not going to upgrade this Orboros actually. Sorry, I totally forgot how bad Orboros is right now. Unfortunately, +1. So I'm not going to waste any more cash on it. The only cash I'm going to be wasting on it is 25 cash. Actually, the room probably costs more than that. It's not like I need it, right? What boss would I need it for? That was close. Spooky. Yuck. Honestly, though, Tender is just really good here. Oh, that was a bit of a bad shot. I was trying to hit a crit, and I failed at that, so luckily we can just pull off this shot, which should be able to get a kill. Transparency on use, kind of fun. Let's hit that crit. Also, the refresh actually crits as well, so it's nice. Kind of forgot about that part, I'm going to be honest. Like, I could just be doing shots like that, which is just a whole lot simpler. Extraordinary. Tempting. Ooh, the new extraordinary change. You know, like, this would be so incredibly tempting if I didn't have some of the best critting potential that I've had for ages. My crit powers are just insane right now. They're not as strong as they could be. If I had more refreshes or crits on the board, it would be giga nuts, but it's really good, quite good right now. I am pretty sure that I'm going to get more value by discarding that. Yes, it does mean that I eat the health loss immediately. I think that's just fine. I think I want to get tons and tons of crits and refreshes onto the map, and then they die. Okay, that works. I'll take that. I'm also definitely going to upgrade that, and I'll definitely take a Grinding Monster. It's not that early on, but at this point I can still get so much value from the max HP, especially if I get 200, 600 here, which would be a not ideal fight, so Grinding Monster would make it one. Egg, I have 2 events, so the chance that I get Cake, pretty low, but I'm definitely going to be playing for it. I'm trying to burn a bit more health here. In case you didn't notice, this is the last elite that we have in Area 2, unless we get a question mark elite, and the final boss we're fighting is Demon Wall, so we're not going to have to worry about actually taking damage in the elite final fight of Area 2. Really good stuff. I'm kind of sad that I didn't take the Criticus, but I don't feel like I had any option with what the alternative was, because I'm pretty sure the alternative was pretty nuts. I just can't recall what it was. What was it indeed? Just check another upgrade on there. I don't really. Those are really good. However, as I found out recently for counterfeit crits, it's whenever a crit is hit, and a lot of the time I'm actually doing procking, like Refreshing Punch. So yeah, I'll be taking Refreshing Punch. It's also just like insane. Really good passive high roll as well, depending on what boss passive I hit. Oh, yeah, so we're really, really good into the mirrors fight, and unfortunately there are some fights, like this fight, which are a whole lot less beautiful. Now I do say that, and then I proceed to not aim at the bombs. It's a bit of an interesting play, wouldn't you agree? Like, I should realistically just be aiming at these bombs, try that. I did aim for the first few bounces there, but that last one was not actually part of my plan. Which is why it was all the more nice to see it. Perfect. Down to 57 health, I'm going to be dropping a little bit more, but I think we are just fine with that 263. I could press that button once. I don't realistically need to. So I probably shouldn't have. That was a really good shot there. I might just wait until that one pops back up again because it's, like, very simple. I'm not putting. I'm not doing this. I'm just going to do this. I'm not shooting my Orboros for the first 4 shots. Nah, I'd rather just take the 4 health loss and continue on. I want this Orboros gone from my deck. It is not a good orb. Unfortunately, we went in Cactus, which means that the Orboros was very valuable because we removed all the orbs from our deck, but actually shooting the orb ourselves is just not it. You know, we can actually claim that guaranteed crit. One more source of a crit is always decent, just because it has good synergy with a lot of the crit passives. Okay, but consider this. Adventurous Backpack becomes really funny the more and more I add to my deck. Do we get our other orbits proc? No. So sad. We're just printing so much cash, that's absolutely beautiful. Oh my god. Look, it took me a while to get cake. And then I started getting it a bit more, and then I stopped getting it for ages. And then I had like 3 back-to-back runs effectively with cake. And it looks like I also got a cake this run, which means our max health is just insane. My only goal for the rest of this run is to just giga stack the max health. Unfortunately, I did not get what is usually an absolutely trash passive in the your refresh move. That would be nice. But it doesn't matter because I'm going to get 10 extra refreshes on the board for my boss passive here. Just you wait for it. Alright, pretty good first shot. Followed by a pretty good second shot. Oh man, if I had, what's it cool. What's it called? Molly flower? Damn, that would be so good. Oh, explodable is just a completely. That fight is over. As I said, I'm going to be getting my max health to be the highest possible. Oh, okay. So it's going to be like that. This is quite pleasant compared to my last run, eh? Where I was just kind of getting really bad RNG, and this time it looks like the tables have ever so slightly turned. Just ever so slightly, right? Oh man, this is pretty beautiful. I probably shouldn't have spent that cash there. The health I would have spent, of course, but... Oh, what? Okay. But, like, I kind of can't buy much in this store now. Oh, this fight is over immediately. Yeah. Ooh. No, sorry. I care much more about max HP than I do one pesky passive. I'm sure that the passive is going to be decent, but, oh, apparently not that decent. Oh, 41 damage for 53 gold. Well, considering the fact that I kind of just picked up the best healing in the game, I don't think I'm joking. I think it's actually just the best healing in the game. Like, yeah, you can argue that multi-ball Infernal Ingot is better, but, like, multi-ball anything is better, as well as Infernal Ingot is already the second best. It doesn't also need to be the first best when I get Giga High Roll like this. I guess to fully top it off, I could get... No, your refresh move every shot isn't even that big of a deal. I hate the glitching there, by the way. That's kind of annoying for that map. Point. What? I had like 150 gold here. And I had like 500 gold here. I'm not complaining. That's super cool. That's very cool. Just keep doing that. Let's also get that upgraded because definitely, like, I'm 100% gonna find an adventurer's backpack, right? We can just definitely play for that high roll. Ooh, Ghost is so unfortunate for him. This is just... Leaf is such a passive that just completely wrecks him. It just... Oh, it's so rough for him. Oh, no way. That does work with Cactus, right? If it doesn't, that's sad. But it's totally fine because we don't exactly need any more help, do we? We're kind of insanely strong. I haven't been paying attention. Do I even have like short fused enhanced gunpowder stuff at all? I don't see either of them at all. Well, that is neat. Unironically, that passive there is really good. One more refresh, sign me up. That is so good. I do not have super boots unless I randomly bought in this store and did not pay any attention. So I'll just leave. I don't need a multiplier. I want more fights so I can get more max HP. Because clearly 216 max HP is not enough. Also, just like, holy cash. Holy cash. I don't even have like navigation inflation, more from gold, question marks increased cash. It's just like literally infinite refreshes plus refreshing punch. Plus infinite refreshes. 911, like, damn man. Plus 11 plus 9. Times 1.2. That's pretty good. Oh, also, just Chip right now is really bad. It's just completely useless. No orbs upgrade? Don't worry, because this time, for sure, right now, the final fight before the Elite, we're just about to get Adventurer's Backpack! Ah, well, that is not Adventurer's Backpack, but Fast Reactant. We're testing out the newly buffed Fast... What the hell is this passive even called? Fast Reactant. And it means that, boom, look at that. Oh my god, I thought they fixed it. Where? So the passive reads, whenever an enemy spawns, gain 10 illusion. And now it used to work that it only counted enemies that were on this map effectively. But since the patch notes that I last read out, it's now meant to affect all enemies that spawn. All two of them. And I got 10 illusion. So, yeah. Maybe that's the intent. It probably isn't from what I read in the patch notes, and from what makes sense, but oh well. The good news is they're dead this shot. No, because I did not uncover as many pegs as I thought I would need for a kill shot. But no, I just got a kill shot. So, oh man, the Adventurer's Backpack we got this run was just so good. See, you can tell I have Adventurer's Backpack because they're just dealing so much damage. Like, look at this, 517. How else are you going to get this much damage without Adventurer's Backpack? I did actually fight a lot of elites, you know. 7 or 8. You know, that's a pretty decent amount. But it seems that it was not enough to find a lot of the crit passes I was looking for. The fleets was amazing. And so was this one. Oh my god, this was such a fun run, such a fun run. And this is why I say, okay, it didn't really matter that much, but having the one extra refresh did matter a lot. But having that one extra crit was also just super nice, especially early on. Just making sure you can crit, especially for an Orboros, is so important. And like, sure, we didn't end up doing Orboros stuff at the end, but having access to just nothing in my deck was so nice. Wow, I can't believe we found a cake. I was hoping for it, but like, I'm past the point of expecting cake, honestly. I just like always expect my eggs to fail every single time. It's the same way with the payout. We're like, even if I say that I'm hoping for a payout and expecting a payout, I'm not actually expecting a payout. I've never gotten payout. I never will. It's just a thing for some reason. Yeah, the cactus was. It's such a good passive too. It's just so good, so good. And we didn't even have any of the usual things that break it, like rubble, for example. Just a random example I'm throwing out there. And our second boss passive was somehow even better. Just leave the rest for later when you have a refreshing punch. Like, sure, break the game wide open. Why don't you? Then we also had Cookie, which is an absolute classic when you have that stuff because that's just infinite healing. Like, even if that was a Cruci 20 Area 3, we would have just completely smoked it. Even with the storms, like we still would have gotten so much cash because Reflush was stone plus the combo is just so good. Yeah. And the best part about this run, we didn't even try any bomb stuff, which is nice. It's refreshing because, a lot of the time I will be trying bomb stuff because that is just kind of the way to go. You can get a lot of cheap with bomb stuff, and particularly when you're lacking AoE, which we did lack AoE. We decided to, instead of doing AoE, we just did Tender Cactus stuff, which was a good idea. It worked out. But like, if this Orbit story was a Refilibuster, the run would have been a lot less fun, but it would have been a lot stronger, for sure, because Refilibuster is such an insane passive, and I didn't end up hitting it. And you might say, oh, but Refilibuster is actually only hitting 8% of pegs, minimum 5. But it's still actually doing a lot because it's just spam procking. And it turns out that even if you're only refreshing 8% of pegs, even just spam procking it is really, really valuable. But yeah, no, as I was mentioning, the Orb story gave me a ton of value this run. I definitely don't regret picking it early on, but it certainly would have been nice to have a refill buster.